trusting life to invite you. So often we're trying to make life happen, make things occur, get the clients, get the money, get the success. And yet we can trust the same energy that's beating our heart right now, the same energy that's looking through my eyes at your eyes and your eyes to my eyes. We can trust that energy to take care of us. Does that mean we have to risk flights across the Atlantic with no money in bank accounts? No. But I seem to notice that on my journey, especially in the early stages, I seem to get some sort of kick out of pushing life to the limits with regards, like making sure my desires got met. I also began to learn that there was a way to be in life that didn't have to be filled with urgency, pressure, and stress. That there was a more graceful way to experience running an international business. And part of that learning for me was in really understanding when I was putting a gun to my head with thoughts of pressure, thoughts of stress, thoughts of urgency. Now that's very different to changing your thoughts. I'm not asking anybody here to improve their thinking or change their thinking. That's just automatic. That just happens naturally as we rise up in our state of mind. But the way we rise up in our state of mind is first in realizing when we're holding that gun of pressure to our head. And then secondly, in really taking our foot off the gas with whatever it is we think is so important in that moment to attend to. So an essential ingredient is to begin to trust life, more so if you have to than trusting yourself. I don't want to really trust myself because the crap that my little mind can come up with is nothing compared to what life has in store. On a practical note, there's a way that people reach you. And it's not just you living in your well-being, but that's definitely where it starts. People connect with your story. People connect with the transformation that you've been through. And so when we're setting out to be of service to humanity, I always encourage clients to have a look at, well, what's your story? Like, what's been your thing, your transformation? When I started out, I had left my job as a school teacher, and I really wanted to be of service because a year and a half later, being on the beach just wasn't cutting it for me. I was way too hungry to be of service. This is one of the reasons I left my job in the first place. And all I did, first I followed the download, start a blog, write about your life. Then I followed the next download, do a little event, collaborate with someone, go back to London and set up a little event. And at that event, I just shared my story. I wasn't a coach yet. I wasn't working with clients. I wanted to be working with clients, but I just stood up and I shared my story of leaving London and now on this path looking to start a business. And, you know, I had these grand ideas of people from that event coming to work with me on some sort of retreat, because that had been my dream. But that's not what panned out. Life had something easier in store for me than trying to host a group of clients in Italy straight off in one go. And at the end of that event, a woman approached me and she said, I love your story. I don't love what you're offering, but I'm in corporate and I want out of my day job. Do you think we could work together on something else? And that then led to us spending the day together in Paris and working on really her core passions and what she wanted to offer in the world. And that was such a more graceful, easier way that life invited me to the same amount of income that I thought I needed to get through a big group retreat in this country I just moved to. And she went on to leave corporate and she went on to start her own thing and she went on to become a mother and she went on to, just really excel with her passions, her desires. So there's power in your story. However insignificant you might think it is one of the essential ingredients. Let us see your story somewhere. Share your story often. Now, you might undervalue your story, but that doesn't mean the world does. To me, I didn't think it was any big deal that I'd left my job. It's something that I've been dying to do for like 5 years or so. So I didn't see it as a big deal. But other people saw it as an inspiration. And later I began to realize, wow, that was an inspired action. Getting out of that 9 to 5 situation where I wasn't lit up and I had less energy when I woke up and even less energy at the end of the day was an inspiration. So as a sort of practical essential, I encourage you, if you are looking in the direction of serving humans, share what you've got, your transformation, your journey, what you see. I think the best we've got is to give people how we see life. People are really curious about how you see life. Your people, I'm not saying all people, but your people will be really, really curious and interested about how you see life and how you do life. And what may seem like an incident or a coincidence or a brutal thing or a tragedy or an insignificant thing to you might hold a lot of meaning for the very people you're supposed to sit down with. And I'm going to assume that if you're on this call, there's something in you that, whether it's now or 6 months from now or a year from now or 6 years from now, there's something in you that's interested in serving humanity in a way that uplifts, in a way that transforms, in a way that heals, in a way that changes people for the better. So don't be afraid to look at what you've already got, what you've already done. Your story and your transformation, your courage in all of that is the greatest credential. Sure, go and get the coaching certificates too, but the greatest credential that you have is to share what you see and what you've got and what changed for you.